Department of Homeland Security declared me a domestic terrorist and accused me of being a murderer. I was twice maliciously prosecuted and falsely imprisoned. Millions of taxpayers' dollars was wasted on retaliation against me, my family members, and my witnesses.
Known for her role in the 90s cult classic Clueless.
Rolling with Toby. Oh, hi.
Her untimely death now called into question. Her father telling GMA he thinks his famous daughter may have been poisoned.
I have a feeling that there was a definite murder situation here. Yeah, it's poison, yes, I know that.
I saw that none of the procedures that were supposed to be followed for people from terrorist countries, none of those steps were taken. They didn't take their fingerprints, they didn't copy any documents. No one asked them any questions as to why they left the United States and where they were going. So in response to me embarrassing Homeland Security, I have endured, along with my family and witnesses, the wrath of American government.
The report, ordered by Murphy's father, shows samples of the star's hair tested positive for high levels of 10 heavy metals. The lab which conducted the test suggested one possible explanation would be an exposure to these metals or toxins administered by a third-party perpetrator with likely criminal intent.
Brittany was named as an official witness in our case that was at the time proceeding against the Homeland Security. So you can imagine what would happen if Brittany was to walk through the doors to testify in our case. There would be a lot of media.
That's right.
Just for that reason alone, and that would totally undermine their the entire plan of keeping this case under wraps. So to them it was a big catastrophe. So after Brittany stood up and had called them out on a lie, all of a sudden she noticed that she's being followed. And actually her and Simon had told about it to the editor-in-chief of the Hollywood Reporter, which is a major publication, as I'm sure you know, and he published it in an article called The Last Days of Brittany Murphy, and he has audio tapes of Brittany and Simon talking to him about being followed by helicopters and about being wiretapped. And in the article, he quoted them saying that helicopters were following them and they were being wiretapped, and he pretty much scoffed at that. And after they had told that to him and, you know, to other people whom they considered to be friends in the industry, people started to talk about them as though they were paranoid or on drugs, because who would believe that someone is being followed by helicopters or being wiretapped? And Brittany didn't want to stay at home. She kept wanting to spend the night at the hotel because, you know, she could sense that something was amiss, that someone has been in her house when they're not there, and it was the sneak and peek incursions. So what happened next was very much a parallel to our case, where with the Black Hawk helicopter, when they raided our home, they were planning to denaturalize and deport me. They had attacked Simon the same way. He was a British citizen. So they arrested him in the middle of the night, dragged him away, threw him in the immigration prison, and it was ICE people from San Diego branch, exactly the same agency, the same branch that had been attacking me all along. And I guess that was their message to Brittany: look who you are messing with, and look at what we can do. So the parallels were just astonishing, and because of all these rumors swirling about her that she's being paranoid and on drugs, she lost you know, big parts in Happy Feet and Tinkerbell and other movies, because producers were being told that she's crazy, paranoid, and drugs. But she was telling the truth. It's just no one would believe it.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, Brittany was found dead in her home, and shortly before her death, she was experiencing very strong abdominal pains, and she was vomiting brown fluid. And exactly the same thing happened 5 months later with her husband. He was experiencing sharp abdominal pains with brown liquid coming out of his mouth, and this would definitely, any normal human being would say, well, let's check if there were any poisons or toxins that these people may have been subjected to, especially when these two young people die like this, one several months after another.
It's very suspicious, and I read the reports on the toxicology reports, and everything sounds very, very, very more or less suspicious. And I feel she was poisoned. There's no question about that. And I feel she was murdered.
They declared me a domestic terrorist, which was absolutely false designation. Raided our home with a Black Hawk helicopter and a 27-man special response team. And it actually expanded more manpower and more resources than they did for the raid of the compound where bin Laden was said to be hiding. They want you, a lot of times they want you to know that they're doing it so that you're constantly ill at ease, and also hoping that you will make a police report to say that you're being followed, and then they could say, oh, look, what a nutcase, they must be insane, maybe we should send them for a psychiatric evaluation.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Can I have your hair in my next life, please?
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
No.
God bless you. Can I be you in my next life?
No problem.